Hello everyone, it is Rendi here, back at you again today with a sort of casual video, maybe not so casual actually, but we'll find out. I'm going to be going over an idea I've had for quite some time now, a month or two, and that is the possibility of a one-prayer Infernal Cape. So I threw up the idea on Twitter and I realized this could maybe be done in the future, especially with some more updates coming to the game, but who knows. If anyone's going to do this, I might as well just try it myself and not just wait around to see what happens. That is, in my free time, which is very limited, so the actual completion of this, if ever, could be years away. I don't even know if it is possible. This is all just theory at this point, but I'm gonna be going for it. Why not? I like making cool accounts, and why not make a cool account with a, no overhead Infernal Cape? I was hesitant on making this video for quite some time, but then I realized I don't have the time or money to spend 2 years on a singular video. So why not show some simple account progression and some theories along the way before the final goal? The reason I'm so hesitant mainly is because Jagex, likes to fix certain things, and what they consider a bug in a mechanic is drastic across the board, and I never really know. Everything I'm going to be showing in this video today I don't believe is really technically a bug. It's very just simplistic mechanics, but they're things so dumb that people have never even, thought to try or possibly have even heard of. At least I think. You never know. Either way, I want to be safe and make sure that Jagex doesn't track my every action and fix every little thing I'm doing, or else the continuation of this goal is going to be impossible. And that's why I actually have been using a VPN called Surfshark throughout the entire footage of today's video. Recently, from some inside information, I've realized that Jagex can track every account. They can pull up an entire list of every account associated to your IP, and they can even see your IP on report logs for just simplistic offensive language breaking rules. I don't know about you, but I don't like being watched. That's why, like I said, throughout this entire video and all this game footage, I've shifted my IP with Surfshark VPN and possibly not gotten into a list with all my other accounts, as well as shown my IP to countless JMods. And some of you already know the history of some of these mods associated with some of our IPs. So Surfshark keeps you safe. It keeps your location and download history private by encrypting all your internet traffic. You can also connect to popular websites on different countries, different regions of the world to get access to more content on those websites, such as Netflix having only certain films available in certain regions. In fact, across all the VPNs I've used yet, this Surfshark VPN does not actually get you blocked on sites even like RuneScape itself when creating an account or going to your account information page. If you somehow aren't satisfied with Surfshark, there's also a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you literally have nothing to lose. So big shout out to Surfshark for a very relatable product sponsoring today's video. And if you want your data secure as well, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description below to get Surfshark with a mind-blowing 83% discount and get an additional 3 months of using it for free. Alright, so staying on that topic still, what happens if Jagex decides to change something they've seen in this video today, or something I'm even just doing not yet shown in the video that is on the background of my accounts that is necessary for this no overhead Infernal Cape plan? Well, we're just going to have to scrap it entirely. I mean, technically, I've already done a one prayer Infernal anyways. Well, I haven't done Zuck with a one prayer Infernal, but I've gotten an Infernal on an account with one prayer. But anyways, that's besides the point. The main reason I wanted to make the account you're going to be seeing in today's video is because I've been wanting to take on multiple tasks, not just the Inferno, with no overheads. And that's why I've decided, even if the Infernal Cape turns out to be impossible, even if all of this is for nothing and something gets changed along the way, I'll still have some fun doing some quests with no overheads, doing some other mini games with no overheads, and just theory crafting throughout the entirety of this account. So what is this account? Well, that's a huge question because I spent the longest time just debating what I wanted to turn into the no overhead Infernal Cape attempt account. And I had several accounts in the background I could have used for this. I had, for example, one prayer desert treasure completion accounts from the mushroom trick I did back in the day. So I could technically get desert treasure done with ancients and one prayer, and it would look really cool, one prayer, possibly 99 defense, 99 everything else. And that would mean I'm literally the only guy in the game with one prayer and ancients who can take this challenge on at exactly one prayer, because ancients are a necessity. And I realized not only would I need the ancient spellbook, but I would need the Archaeus spellbook for a method you'll see later on in this video. I need thralls. And to get thralls, you need to spend prayer points. I'll also need the highest tier of thralls, meaning I'll need to spend 6 prayer points for every one of these things I summon. Luckily, the Eldritch Staff actually gives you a special attack, which can put your prayer points over 1. Yes, even a 1 prayer account can use this staff, and that means you can get up to 120 over 1 prayer points, so you can still spend those on thralls. In fact, my good friend Dragon does this all the time. I'll also need frequent access to the Ancient Spellbook in order to use Ice Barrage and Blood spells. I'll be using Ice Barrage every single time because of its long range to the Nibblers, and I'll be trying to find optimal spots to stand where I don't get hit by any NPCs, as well as being able to cast a 151 XP drop on these Nibblers every wave before logging out. Yeah, that means if I don't see the maximum damage output on these 3 Nibblers at the start of the wave, every single wave I'm just going to log out, and that means also I'm going to be scouting every single wave. This is going to be like a 20+ hour cape if it even is successful. But with an account that's 1 defense and 1 prayer, how am I going to switch between the Arceus Spellbook and the Ancient Spellbook frequently enough besides using a 99 magic cape, which only gives you 5 total swaps a day? I don't want to spend 30 days trying to get an Infernal cape in 1 singular attempt. Well, there is no way besides getting 40 defense and the Lunar Spellbook. And I don't really want an account with 1 prayer and 40 defense. That's kind of irrelevant. At that point, I'd want to get my prayer up a little bit to 15 or 31, and I really don't want an account with 99 defense and 1 prayer, as at that point, the challenge itself is a little bit too easy, let's say. Instead, I decided to go ahead and change an account you've seen from my 10 HP Monkey Madness RFD part video, which already had adamant gloves on it, with only 1 defense, but we found out there was a failsafe on those gloves to where we could not wear them at the end of the video with only 1 defense, making the account pretty much useless. And why I'm using this account specifically is because I wanted to make a 40 defense account, and this account can technically get 40 defense with Barrow's gloves and Lunar's both, because it skipped the Monkey Madness training. Therefore, I can wield Barrow's gloves at 35 defense actually, but I'm going to be getting 40 on this account because I do want Lunar Spellbook, mainly for that spell swap. But there's one problem with this build. Barrow's gloves are going to require me to get 15 prayer, completing Priest in Peril and Restless Ghost, which I now have to do completely legitimately. So I'm already 15 prayer. I might as well get more prayer because, as you'll see even later, there's a lot of methods that some other people discovered that utilizes a Crystal Halberd, and if I get 31 prayer by doing Swan Song, then I can actually get this Crystal Halberd once I'm over 100 combat. With 31 prayer, 40 defense, 99 attack, 99 strength, 99 magic, 99 mage, and 99 hit points, that puts me at exactly 102 combat, just 2 combats over the requirement for the hard diary on the western provinces in order to get that Crystal Halberd. So if I just did Swan Song and Restless Ghost with Priest in Peril, I'd be about 29 prayer. That's kind of an irrelevant level, so I decided, why not do some more quests? If you actually add Ghost Ahoy into the mix, which is required for Dragon Slayer 2 and the upgraded Ava's Accumulator, which gives more range bonus and more range strength bonus, that's going to put us exactly at 31 prayer. At that point, we can even do Making History for Song of the Elves requirements. The Locator Orb you get from Dragon Slayer 2 is also going to be pretty much necessary. You could possibly do it with a Dwarven Rock Cake, but it's just not as efficient and doesn't damage you as much, and there's a lot of areas I'll need to be self-inflicting damage on inside the Inferno here. After all of these quests, it's only going to put us a couple hundred XP away from 32 prayer, but we'll still be 31. 31 prayer is a popular build to use for Ultimate Strength, PKing, and Ultimate Strength because Ultimate Strength is awesome. So I had it settled. I wanted this account to be 31 prayer, maxed combats, and 40 defense. I still wouldn't have access to overheads, making the challenge equally as hard, but actually even a little bit more difficult because instead of getting 1 prayer and 99 defense, I'm going to be getting 40 defense with 31 prayer. So in summary, why am I making this build the way it's going to be? Well, mainly because I think it looks cool, and secondly because there's a couple things that are required. Before I get into a brief summary of everything I've looked over and basically figured out within this Infernal Cape in a short period of time that I definitely will add to, the one thing I want to let you all know, and it's common that people think this, but no, you cannot use purple sweets in the Inferno. It does not let you eat these whatsoever, and that's why it makes this cape so hard. So the thought of this all was majorly inspired by September RS. Someone sent me a video of his, and he showed how to do an entire no mage protect prayer Infernal Cape. There was a lot of cool, unique techniques he was using in the Inferno that I had not yet seen yet, and that put a lot of these thoughts in my mind for what you'll be seeing today. I used to be extremely well versed in the Inferno up until about 2018, and after that I kind of dropped off, but I remembered some things about it that I could kind of pair with parts of this video in my mind to possibly come to some solutions. The first technique is one that solely I think was developed by him, but this pathing here with a halberd, he moves from the north pillar, the northeast side, to the west side, and with this pathing you can actually get a singular hit off and flinch these NPCs with melee hits using a halberd, and therefore that's why a crystal halberd is going to be so important to the strategy and that 100 combat goal. Although it's going to be extremely risky to pull off, and as you can see here, very easy to miss time. As well, another strategy I saw him use was tick healing. Now I've seen people with 1 prayer do this in the fight caves on Ironman, but I've never seen it done in the Inferno, and I even thought to myself, What if one was to wear a regen bracelet and a hit points cape? You could possibly tick heal 2 NPCs stacked behind one another at the same time, with going from 1 to 5 HP and all the NPCs only hitting 1s on you. Also, I've never used Dream before and I've never even had a lunar spellbook, but I thought, what about using it since we will have one, and since it actually makes your HP regenerate even quicker, because there's going to be certain instances within this Infernal Cape challenge that I actually probably just have to wait for my HP to regen all the way back up to full. And with Dream, a regen bracelet, and a hit points cape, I'm getting a solid 7 hit points regeneration per minute, which is actually quite quick. Also, the Crystal Halberd, or any halberd method you could say, utilizes the NPC when there's nothing to the left of it. It needs to be able to walk from one side of the pillar to the other. But what about the other instances? So my friend actually lent me an account for about 2 hours to test all of this on, and I realized using thralls for the very first time told me that thralls only attack 4 times before waiting for you to make another attack and aggress the NPC. That's when I thought about mage flinching from the left side. You could actually mage flinch every 4 attacks from the thrall and have it continuously attack, because splashing with any combat magic spell like melee is an instant hit. So as long as I'm wearing splash gear, I can guarantee I never get hit. And I can make the thrall continuously attack the NPC, all while completely safe. So yeah, I'm going to need a lot of odd gear to complete this Infernal Cape, if it's even possible. I'm going to need a full set of -65 magic gear. The sole fact that I have 40 defense will really help with this and conserving inventory space, because a fighter torso actually has a lot more negative magic attack bonus than any other torso in the game, besides a few. As well, in September's video, I saw a lot of red Xing and red X interfacing, which is practically the same thing with less clicks. Red Xing under the last attacked NPC doesn't allow him to attack you as long as you're constantly red clicking, or as long as you've interfaced the red click. I thought though, what if you actually utilize this for all of the melees? You red X the melees until they teleport, and you can get 3 blowpipe hits off before he then starts to attack you. Therefore, you could get the 3 blowpipe hits off, go back and red X him again, wait for him to teleport in the same location, back up, get another 3 blowpipe hits off, and repeat the process. At this point, a lot of you might be saying, why not just melee flinch him with the red X's? Well, the melee NPC inside the Inferno is actually one of the very few NPCs that hits you instantly without delay, no matter if you're flinching him or not. This means no matter what, if I hit him between the red X's or even on a flinch spot, he's gonna hit me instantly, unless I wait for him to teleport. But for practically every other NPC in this Inferno, flinching is a necessity. Another thing I saw September utilizing was during single Jad and triple Jad, using the healers as barricades to actually walk the Jad to the walls and then safe spot it. He would then run from one side, allowing the healer to hit him, then run back to the other and flinch the Jad without moving the healers all around and untrapping the Jad. This was insane, honestly. I'd never seen anything like this. But I also realized while watching this, there's a lot of instances he needs melee protect, like here, because he has to take a hit from the healers to keep them in place. But what if you were to, say, swap spellbooks with a mage cape, and then entangle the healers all first, then flinch Jad for a melee hit and make sure the healers did not displace themselves, making sure that Jad was always safe spotted in these instances. Entangle also never hits that high, so you wouldn't risk killing the healers and displacing Jad unlike you would with ice spells. September used a different method a little bit on triple Jads than what I'm planning for, as I plan to use the no prayer method similar to how Wooks used it on 6 Jads you could see back in the day. This is mainly because once again I cannot use protect melee because I do not have 43 prayer, and therefore I can't just sit here with the healers on me. Lastly, the man brilliantly used Guthix Rest in order to go through the triple Jad phase as quick as possible. Luckily he had Rigor though, whereas in my case we might have Masori armor, which is a huge increase to our range accuracy, and it will only require 30 defense. That's if it comes out the way it's intended, of course. And why we need DPS is because the quicker we can kill these Jads, the less Guthix Rest I'm going to have to actually use. Speaking of Guthix Rest, he ended up using a lot of these in the final fight of Zuck, and if you do the final fight of Zuck correctly, no matter what, this is always going to happen because there's always sets of ranges and mages you're going to have to take care of. But what if I told you there was one way though that no major range would ever spawn, and that is an entire mage range set skip by getting Zuck to under 600 health in a matter of just a singular cycle of the shield. and I believe this has only been done like 3 times total on video. One of them was all the way back in 2017, and people didn't even know about it till this video came out and were just like, what the fuck happened? But yeah, if you can get Zuck to under 600 health in a matter of seconds, which there is a possibility, then you can actually take on Zuck without any sets of range or mage, and all you have to deal with is Jad on the Zuck phase and the healers. So technically I could just relog if I see the shield actually go around without Zuck going under 600 HP, even though it might take me possibly 1,000 relogs. Also, something that helps with this that came out recently is the Zerite crossbow. The special attack on that thing almost guarantees the possibility of actually getting a bolt proc off, meaning I could get an extra 100 damage with a ruby bolt and the Zerite crossbow. From there I would just switch into the twisted bow and try to DPS that thing down with my Masori armor and get it as low as possible before that shield wraps around, and if I didn't, I would just relog and try again and again and again, walking the shield each time. Lastly, you could take on one Zuck healer at a time, let Zuck just heal back to full HP, because no matter what, this Zuck's already scuffed, it's got no major range spawn, and no Jad is going to respawn, and you could just blood barrage those healers one at a time, kill them with practically no food left, and save even more supplies. So speaking of supplies, there's going to be a hell of a lot of supplies needed, and I'm going to have to minimize my inventory as much as possible and bring only the necessities. But only the necessities even alone is a lot. This is where my biggest stump is going to be at, because there's so many things necessary for all these theories that I'm crafting here, such as the runes for Entangle, the runes for Spellbook Swap, the runes for Thralls, these special attack weapons. So much is going on inside the theory crafting within this thing that I haven't even mentioned everything yet. I was even possibly thinking of claws to out DPS bats that you can't really get rid of in safe spots. There's so many options and different things coming at you from all different angles within this theory crafting, and that's why I'm just going to go ahead and train the account, get it to that point in time, and just see what happens. If it's possible, if it's not, if someone's already done it by then even, which they probably have because I'm super busy and I'm not going to actually touch this account for a bit after the next month. I'm going to just set it at Ammonite Crabs and try and AFK my stats up for a very long period of time. But like I said, these are all just small theories that add to the big picture. Who knows if it's one day going to be possible? Who knows if it's not? There is still a lot of unanswered problems out there that I'm sure a lot of other people as well will add to for solutions. Or it might just never be possible. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoy me training this account, relaxing a bit, and having fun playing the game that we all love, Old School RuneScape.